So we have a lot coming up in the Quad City. This weekend, we have the Quad City Fit Fest over in East Moline at the Bend Expo Center. Details on that are over at qcfitfest.com. And then coming up in a few weeks, we have Team First Soccer Academy. And that is why I am joined this morning by the one, the only, the soccer legend, Mia Hamm. Mia, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. So tell me about this camp. I understand that these other gals are your friends. They're also Olympic gold medalists.
Yeah, just that they've accomplished that in their life. No, myself, Tisha Venturini Hoke, and Christine Lilly started Team First Soccer Academy, gosh, over 10 years ago. And we really just wanted to kind of share our experiences and lessons and love and passion for the game with young players. And so we're so excited to be coming to Davenport and kind of continuing that influence that we have to kind of get kids out there and believe in themselves.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. So is this the first time the camp has come back since COVID?
Yes. We did last summer. But this is our first kind of camp back. So we're super excited.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah. And to be able to come to your area in Iowa is meaningful for us. So we're really looking forward to kind of coming and sharing our knowledge with the young players.
Yeah, I love it. So obviously you've had an incredibly successful career. I know for my generation, looking back at it, like you're the one that we pictured on like Wheaties boxes. Like you are the first female athlete that we really saw as like, wow, like that's the thing that can super be a thing. So how are you and the Mia Hamm Foundation, like things like this camps, working to make more opportunities for young girls in sports? You know, like now we have kickers in football who are female.
Yeah.
Was it really a thing?
I think first and foremost, myself, Tisha, and Christine, we came from small towns, and our stories are probably very similar to a lot of the players in the Quad City area, that we just love what we did. We love to compete, and we had people around us that invested in us and believed in us. And so that's kind of our message for the young players, both male and female, because the three of us grew up playing on predominantly boys teams. They were co-ed, but we were probably one of two girls that played, but really just to feel empowered about trying to kind of live their passion and be their best.
Yeah, definitely. So you were on the U.S. national team at 15, such a young age to make such a huge accomplishment, like two-time Olympic champion, two-time FIFA Women's World Cup champion. My family was in the games. We were at the games. We weren't in the games in 96. And I mean, did you understand at the time, like all of this history that you were making?
I think when you're in it, you don't realize it, but a lot of people around us kind of shared with us what was happening, especially the 99 World Cup. But I will say that the team always felt this responsibility. Conscientiously, we knew that it was important for us to open doors that weren't open for us and to help the next generation. And you see the team currently with that just settled their equal pay dispute with U.S. Soccer, that they're continuing to do that for players that will be on the national team, but both on and off the field, kind of changing the way women are treated and seen in the workplace. So,
love it.
We felt it was incredibly important to leave a lasting legacy, and you can see that moving forward.
Oh, definitely, for sure. So what would you say your biggest obstacle was in your career that you had to overcome?
I just think the support and the kind of mindset that women couldn't play at a high level and they didn't deserve the same resources and support and investment that boys and men's soccer did. So that's a battle we continue to face. But you see, so many more teams, opportunities like us being able to do team first has been so exciting for us, but so rewarding to see the young players come out and really find confidence within themselves. Because one of the things we try to share with young players is that mistakes are part of the game. Mm-hmm. And when you're at one of our team first camps, it's all about kind of getting outside your comfort zone. That, we're not going to call your parents or your coach and tell them, oh, you made this mistake. We want you to make mistakes. That's how we learned as players. That's how we learn as people. And then you just try to improve every single day.
That's such a great approach to it. I love that. So I was looking at the Mia Hamm Foundation, and I saw that you help families who need bone marrow or cord blood transplants.
Yeah.
So can you speak to that? How is that important to you?
Well, my brother, who passed away in 97, he was adopted and he needed a bone marrow transplant, and we struggled to find a match in the National Registry, just because he was part Thai, part Caucasian. Mm-hmm. And so it all started trying to raise awareness and raise funds, just because my parents couldn't afford to kind of help him pay for this bone marrow transplant. So I just realized I had a platform. It was personal for me. And I know there are families all across this country and all across the world that are faced with the same challenges that me and my family. So trying to give them the opportunity for hope is incredibly important to me. And the foundation continues supports different groups and areas that need support to really give someone else the gift of life, and also educating people how simple it is to be a donor.
Oh yeah, definitely. So when you were training for the Olympics, what was kind of a mantra or something that you told yourself on days when training was just super difficult, you felt really over it all? Like, what was your why that kept you going?
I think my team, one is believing in yourself and your value, but also the importance of making sure you show up every single day for your teammates, even when it's difficult. I think setting a standard for each other was a big reason why we were so successful. We were all in with trying to be the best team we could be, but that investment is more than just in the player, it's in the person. And so you want to see each other, be their best. And that's just a personal choice. And like you said, some days were harder than others.
Yeah.
But that's kind of when you carried each other through.
Oh, I love it. Love that. Being there for the team. That's super important. So now obviously you're retired, able to chill out a lot more. So in retirement, what has been your focus? Like, I know you're still very passionate and doing awesome at creating opportunities for women in sports, for young girls. What else have you been working on?
Well, I mean, Team First has been a big part of my life for over 10 years now, but, we have 3 kids. So kind of seeing them grow and seeing the world through their eyes has been exciting for my husband and I, and kind of creating memories with them. I'm part of the ownership group here for Angel City FC, which starts, we have our inaugural season here in LA and in the NWSL. So that's going to take up a lot of time. And I'm so excited to kind of see how this team does. The reception here in Los Angeles has been tremendous. And to be a part of the ownership group has taught me so much. But more so just kind of thinking outside the box and how we can make a difference in women's sports.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Angel City, because some of my favorite athletes have popped up that they are ownership for that. And I was like, I wonder what that is. And I was like, oh, this is so overdue. I love that that's a thing. I cannot wait to go check out one of those games. But yeah, so retirement seems like it's going pretty well. Are any of your kids playing soccer?
No, but they kind of have, that's okay. They kind of have their own passions. And I think, for me, my parents are really good about letting me kind of find my own way and to support my kids, and let them do the same has been important to both of us. So, I would have loved for them to kind of play, and they play a little bit, but it's not, they have other interests that kind of pull at their heartstrings a little bit more.
Yeah,
And that's great. That's what makes them their own person.
for sure. So when you were a kid, what age were you when you started playing and you figured out like, oh man, I really love this sport. This is a thing.
Yeah, no, I started, I couldn't play organized soccer till I was 5.
Mhm.
And so I just was a competitor. I loved playing so many different sports. But it probably wasn't until I made the national team. I remember coming home and kind of telling my dad, okay, this is what
This
I
is
want to
it. Yeah.
do. And, to be unapologetic for trying to be the best you could be, and being in an environment where you're pushed every single day. And, that's where I wanted to compete. And so, it was probably a little bit later than some of the athletes kind of choose today, but it was the right time for me.
Yeah, definitely. So one more question here. If you could
Sure.
give just one piece of advice to any young kid who like watches the Olympics, watched it this last week, watches the soccer games in the summer, if you could give them any one piece of advice and they're like, I want to get there, what would you tell them?
I would say believe you're worth it. Believe you're worth the investment. Um, I think a lot of kids think, oh, I'll never be able to get to that level. And I'm sure the athletes that are at that level probably had some of those thoughts as well, but you got to believe you're worth it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. That's such good advice. So we will see you in the Quad Cities
Yeah.
on March 12th,
12th and
13th.
13th.
And there's going to be the camp for the littles and then the camp for the high school kids, right?
Yes. So the youth camp is Saturday, Sunday, and for the high school is just Saturday only. And you can find more information on our website at Team First Soccer Academy. And we're excited to be in Davenport.
We're excited to have you here. Thank you for chatting with me this morning.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.